right, welcome everybody to our April 2022 Behind the Lines podcast. I'm John Turner, as always, joined by Brian Clark.
Glad to be here, buddy. Glad to be here.
We've got David Kilpatrick making us look good.
The magician behind the camera.
That's right. And we have Mr. Jonathan Howell with us today, our right-of-way manager. And we're going to talk about all things tree and vegetation related and what the great things that are going on with our reliability.
Let's have some fun.
In our right-of-way program, because boy, it has been a wet spring.
It has been a wet spring. It's been actually a series of wet springs. We've been blessed. But water and trees, anything green, grows. If I can make an analogy, if you make a happy plate, that's good. If you make a series of happy plates, cleaning that plate, eating everything on it, better. Young boys grow when they make happy plates. And that's what trees do with lots of water. They grow. So,
which money was the same way?
Oh, if you find a way.
You said all things green. So
yes.
Here.
Unfortunately, I like clean plates too, and when you get to be my age, it's
growing.
not as good.
Same principle. Trees grow. And when they have a lot to eat and a lot to drink, they keep growing. So we're working on trimming those trees away from the power lines, and we've had a lot of growth over the past 2 or 3 years. So important job. We'll be trimming 715 miles this year. We'll have some good contractors on our system who really want to please our members and do things to their satisfaction. We do have some, we have some standards we have them work to, but we want to work with our members to see that their lights stay on.
So talk about the plan. You said we're going to do about 750, give or take, miles of right-of-way cleaning, trimming work this year.
That's right.
We have a master plan where that's just sort of, we go in cycles. Talk about that a little bit.
So it's a 5 to 6 year cycle. We'll come through your area every 5 to 6 years, trimming the trees, cutting things on the floor and mowing in rural areas to keep those limbs away from the power lines. And it's a twofold reason for that. We want to keep the limbs away from the lines because they can cause outages. We can't keep all of those limbs, limbs up high. We have a certain distance above the ground we can reach, and then you can't reach them. So we're going to have tree caused outages. Wind's going to cause it. That's the biggest thing. Thunderstorms really hit us this year. And that's going to be the case anywhere you have trees near the power lines. But 6 years, we're coming through and trimming, we're cleaning up. Not only does that help keep the trees off the lines, but when we do have the outages, the linemen can access the area, get in there safely, and get that line back up faster.
And of course, our cycle, we've come up with that as sort of the best balance of fiscal responsibility, how much it costs, because this is an expensive endeavor. We can't cut everything every year.
I think we spent about $4 or $5 million in between the two on average.
We are at $4 million. We've been pretty steady there the past 3 years at that level. We've in the past seen some increase in costs.
And it sounds like a lot, but we're a big co-op.
We are. We cover 4,000 miles.
Yeah.
Our overhead lines are almost 4,000 miles. So we're doing those 4,000 miles over the course of 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, and that's main line though. I mean, we were having like 5,500 miles of line, but 4,000 main, right?
That's right. We treat the service lines, those triplexes from the transformer to the house, differently as far as trimming.
When you said a while ago 750 miles this year, I was imagining if I had to cut 750 miles with my lawnmower. I mean, just the scope of the work that has to go into play to trim 750 miles of power line.
It's a lot of planning ahead of time, as far as our contractors looking at it to bid it. And then it's some more planning after that, and notifying and planning the work, getting the crews ready every day. It's a lot of work, it's a big responsibility. And somehow I'm here.
No, you're doing great.
With a smile on your face, too.
And I'd like for the members to hear a couple of things. One, when you see Jonathan in your yard, Jonathan is highly trained, and you're doing a great job, Jonathan. And what I mean by that, you knew at a young age that you wanted to be a forester, right? And
I did.
Didn't you go to Mississippi State
I
Forestry?
attended Mississippi State, graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Forest Resources, and I'm fortunate to be here.
And don't you have certifications on top of that?
I do.
Continued training.
A certified arborist, utility specialist with the International Society of Arboriculture. Guy that works with me, Robert Gaskin, also was certified through the International Society of Arboriculture. We put some investment into our work.
I think it's important to know that, because when you're in the yard, say you're in somebody's yard and you're talking about cutting their favorite tree, you know what a tree needs to survive and how it impacts our system. So I think it's important to know that you're highly educated in that area. Also, I want the members to hear, we can't stop working even when it's wet. We have to keep going.
That is correct.
A lot of our territory is lowland. A lot of our territory in the spring is wet through a lot of rain that we've seen. So that may cause ruts in people's yards for us to trim trees.
We will cause ruts. I mean, that's the be forthright with it.
Yes.
We will cause ruts. We will repair ruts. We will work with you to get those repaired to your satisfaction. But unfortunately, we do have to keep moving when it's wet, as you say, because we have so much to cover. If we wanted to concentrate all of that work into the dry period, the cost would be so high that we couldn't afford to pay for our electricity. We're doing it in the, as John said, in the most efficient manner we can.
So be patient with us. If we cause ruts in the yard, we're not intentionally trying to mess up your yard. We just have to keep moving forward, and we'll mitigate that and make it right.
That's right. Correct.
And so, Jonathan, that is a good point. So if folks want to contact you, if they have right-of-way questions, or they have an issue, or they want a tree looked at, what's the best way for folks to get in touch with you?
So the best way, call into the 800 number here at Fort County and let them know that you have a tree issue. That number is 800-431-1544.
Good job.
They'll, I say that a lot. I let people know that a lot. Call into that number. I'll say it again, 800-431-1544. The call center will put you in touch with me, make a service order, and either myself or Robert will be in touch with you to take a look at that concern. Or you can reach us at tree@4county.org, and that is an email address that will contact both me and Robert. We'll check out what you got and work with you on that.
All right, and you brought something to show and tell.
Yes, we also do some herbicide spraying every year. This year we'll spray 1,300 miles of line. And when I say we'll spray that amount of line, what I mean is we will have a contractor, Jenkins Weed Control, come in. And they'll have laborers using a backpack sprayer to selectively treat woody stems, young trees growing in rural right-of-way. We do that to help maintain that floor so that we only have grasses and forbs, briars, that kind of thing. Nothing that's going to grow up high into the power line. So we do that twice between our trimmings. We'll do it the year after we trim, and then again 2 years later. And that just helps us. We're spending a little money there, but doing that twice between our trimmings helps us save a little money on the trimming end, because we're not having to mow over those trees that might have grown up in the right of way.
And to be clear, the herbicide that you guys are spraying is only for those woody stems. It doesn't affect the wildlife. It doesn't affect, I mean, there's a lot of thought that goes into that.
A lot of thought, a lot of planning. We've actually moved away from using glyphosate on our right-of-ways. It's a very effective herbicide, but there is some negative connotation there, and just to eliminate that concern with our members, we don't use it anymore. Our contractor has a substitute that is comparable in effectiveness, so we use that, but we do target tree species only. In yards, we try to make sure that we don't treat those ornamental bushes. Sometimes that does happen. We had a gentleman planted some blackberry bushes under the right-of-way, and then he had an illness, and the area kind of got away from him there for one summer, and our herbicide guys came through and treated his blackberry bushes. So occasionally we have slip-ups like that, and we do make good on those as well. We work with you to get those corrected. We planted some blackberry bushes back, and he was satisfied, and we want all our members to be satisfied if we can.
I think it's imperative to know that your role, the herbicide role, the trimming role, is very imperative to keeping a good, healthy system so we can ensure that you keep continuing to get good service from us.
That's right.
That's right. And it helps us keep costs down over the long term by keeping things maintained on a steady basis.
Yeah, because if you don't pay now, you will pay later.
You will pay later.
And the proof is in the pudding, because we've seen, and we'll talk about this in another show, reliability numbers
Yes.
are really, really strong
Yes.
lately and through the last half decade, 10 years, and that's a big part of it.
Yep.
It is. One other thing, John, our contractors, their vehicles are marked. They'll have the 4-county logo. It'll be in black and white preferably, and then contractor will be boldly printed on the side of the vehicle. Our herbicide guys, they're going to be on foot most of the time. They'll have on this yellow hat. It has 4-county and approved herbicide contractor there on the side, so that they can be identified. If you see somebody with a yellow hat walking through your yard or across your property and you have questions, give us a call. We'll be glad to talk to you about it. If you have some concerns, we'll come out and talk it through with you.
And we stress communication ahead of time too. So if we're out, we do our best through social media and call outs and
And y'all
whatnot
do a great
to
job at that.
alert the members that we will be working in that area. Of course, sometimes folks just don't see it, and that's another good way to tell, because
Sure.
you can see that hat coming a mile away.
Jonathan, thank you for the work you do, man.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Yes, sir.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Did you know that trees and tree branches are one of the leading causes of power outages? That's why 4 County's right-of-way program is hard at work, trimming and cutting trees, not only to help prevent outages, but to make it safer and faster to restore outages when they do occur. When 4 County is trimming in your area, you'll be alerted by an automated call, and you'll be contacted before we do any work at your home or business. We're working hard to keep the lights on and our members satisfied. Visit our website, email us at tree@4county.org, or call 1-800-431-1544 for more information.
All right, we're back.
Welcome back.
Got a few things to cover before we wrap this episode up. Let's talk about broadband real quick.
Amen. Broadband's taken off. We've been in the business right at 2 years now. We have 4,500 customers roughly. About 2,000 miles of fiber line. Man, time has flown, John.
Right.
It just seems like yesterday we were weighing the risks and whether we should get into the business. And
Now we're flying.
yeah, now we're halfway through with the main line build out.
So, yeah, and exciting news, because we're going to be doing something really big in Lowndes County here before too long.
Yeah, all right. So we've been hanging mainline fiber over there. We're going to be setting some poles to cross the river, and it won't be long before we'll be providing service over there.
So that's huge news, and that river crossing has been sort of a big thorn in our side.
It has, you know, the regulations. Anytime you want to cross a federal transportation means, being the Tom Bigby waterway, there's a lot of entities you have to go through and get blessings and permits, and so we're glad to have most of that behind us.
So, yeah, exciting. We've got 4 phases open now with
Yes.
Octoc, and so we're moving through the Octoc phase, hopefully moving very soon into the GTR
Yes.
phase. And, of course, we'll be communicating this to folks in those phases. We'll send you mail outs and emails and let y'all know that service is available. Want to remind you that if you haven't gone online already and done a service request or told us that you're interested, you can go to www.4C-fastnet.com, and you can go in there and tell us that you're interested, and we'll
Yep.
reach out to you when we're getting close to being able to serve you.
And look, I still don't have it yet at my house, John, where I live, but the people I've talked to that have it love it. The service is great. The speed is fast. The people you talk to when you reach out are here at our office. They're local people. We're owned by those we serve, John.
That's right.
So we're here to serve. I think you're going to be happy with the product and the customer service.
That's right. And look, and there will always be issues with anything like this. And our goal is to, if there's something wrong, we're going to fix it. We're going to fix it right away.
Yes.
We're going to make it right. So if you have the service and you have issues with us, or you got questions or whatever, please get in touch with us. We want to be the best at what we're doing. We feel like we're really good at what we do on the electric side, and we want our broadband side to mirror that.
Yeah, let's talk about that real quick, John. With any new entity, there are growth, right? We've hooked up a lot of places like we talked about, Maben, Lone Oak. A big part of our central west part of our system we've hooked up. Every time we cut on a new circuit, there's equipment and servers that have to be adapted for the new circuit, and sometimes that might cause a momentary outage while we reroute the lines, is a good way to say it. So as we grow, just be patient with us. If you have any issues, please reach out to us. We want to get better.
That's right. The only way we can, or to address your problem, is for us to know about
Amen.
it. So we're here to help. Had a recent meeting of our 4-County Foundation Board.
Yes, great board members, great set of folks. Remember, those board members are people from your communities. They don't get paid anything in this role. They vet several applications throughout their process. We look at not-for-profit entities in our footprint and how we can give back to our membership.
That's right, and it is an extraordinarily successful program. $1.6 million, more than
Yes.
$1.6 million given back to organizations in our service territory since we started in 2015. And this last meeting was about $50,000, a little over $50,000. And
Yeah.
there were several volunteer fire departments in
That's right.
there that we got equipment for, and so
Schools, educational
that's
resources.
right, educational resources. We do it all for nonprofits, and you can really see the impact from the folks and hopefully y'all have seen that as well when we do the stories on the different organizations that get those awards, what the impact really is.
I don't know if it was you or Emily Bratton that came up with the slogan, but pocket change that changes lives.
That was all Miss Emily.
And then when you come up with, we've given back 1.5 million, is that what you said?
1.6.
That's a lot of money off pennies, right?
That's right.
And remember, none of that money is kept for administrative purposes. The only part of that money that's kept for anything is the audit.
That's right.
We pay for the audit. That's it. That's the only cost of anything that is not directly related to the entity who's asked for the funds.
That's right. It comes in and it goes back out. And if you ever question, the impact that it's having, I suggest you reach out to your local law enforcement or your local volunteer fire department. I think we've pretty much given something to everybody.
You'd be hard pressed in any community to find somebody we haven't helped.
That's right. That's right. And these are the folks that need it the most, that need
Amen.
the help the most, because they help all of us.
Yes.
And
So
so-
if you're not for profit,
That's right.
if you've received funds and it's been more than 12 months, or if you're not for profit in our footprint who have not asked, please reach out.
That's right. We'd be happy to help, and we're there. We got a staff here that will help you with anything you need with your application. So
Shout out to the
program.
4-County Foundation. Thank you for the work that you do. And thank you for all the members who contribute to the roundup.
Yes, we could not do it without the generosity of those folks. And we'll talk more about the foundation and a lot more at our annual meeting. which
Oh,
will
hallelujah.
be in
God.
person.
Annual meeting. Knock on wood, we haven't had any COVID cases in months. I hope it's gone. I am so looking forward to an in-person annual meeting with farm-raised, homemade, Mississippi fried catfish, all employees there.
Yep.
A lot of members there, giving away some good door prizes. Johnny, you want to talk about the door prizes?
Sure, we've got, we'll be doing some technology things, tablets and things to go with technology, kind of look at the Fastnet side. And we'll also be giving away some really cool electric devices, yard implements and that sort of stuff. So that'll be a lot of fun. Then, of course, we've got the grand prize.
Yes, the grand prize is a former used 4-County fleet truck. Now, John and I would like to think you're coming to see us, but we know a lot of you come for the fried catfish and the door prizes. But at the end of the day, the whole point is to get us together. We want to be transparent, talk about any changes at 4-County, go through board of director elections, and give back to you, because after all, we're owned by you.
That's right. So please come and join us. That's June 2nd at the East Mississippi Community College Mayhew campus, the Lyceum there. We've got the doors open at 9. We'll have a health fair kicking things off. We'll have exhibits all day long, electric side and broadband. Brian said the lunch, we'll be giving away door prizes all day long. And the business meeting starts at noon, and we'll have everything wrapped up, we hope, by about 1 o'clock or so.
So we look forward to seeing you there.
That's right. So please come join us. That's about all we've got, I think, this month, and we'll talk to you again in May.
Yep. I don't know what your weather's like today you're looking at this, but today it's sun shining. Enjoy the day, and God bless.